Okay, it's time for me to say goodbye to Fedora, rate it, and install Zorin OS. Just in case if you guys don't know, I am planning to switch to Linux as a main operating system. Currently, I'm on my Linux journey, trying out different Linux distributions, basically trying to find the suitable Linux distro that I can daily drive. So far, I have tried Ubuntu, CachyOS, Linux Mint, Anduin OS, and Fedora. These are the ratings for all the previous Linux distros that I tried. I'm gonna give Fedora solid 8 out of 10. This is a very interesting distribution that I have ever tried. This is actually the first time I daily drive the Fedora Linux. I edited a couple of videos in Fedora Linux because the video editor that I used, DaVinci Resolve, was running better inside Fedora than the Windows. So you can see there are two projects that I edited. To me, Fedora is like a mix of Debian, maybe not entirely, let's just say Ubuntu and Arch Linux. It's been almost 2 weeks I'm daily driving this. There is only one annoying thing about it, is that since you get latest and greatest updates frequently, I have to update and reboot my system almost every single day. Since Linux is still evolving, getting those new kernel updates, app updates is actually better. If you don't mind rebooting your system once a day, Fedora Linux is actually pretty good. Now let's move on and install Zorin OS. This is something that I have never tried on real computer. I have tested this on virtual machine. It looks pretty good. In their website, it even says Zorin OS is the alternative to Windows and macOS, designed to make your computer faster, more powerful, secure, privacy respecting, all while staying familiar and simple to use. And this is actually a really popular, well-known distribution for Windows and Mac users, because it has the similar layout, the desktop functionality. So let's click on download Zorin OS to download this. There is even a pro version. It's $47.99, but you can download the Zorin OS core for free. In premium version, you basically get extra desktop layouts. There is even a Zorin OS Education Edition, which is completely free. It comes with educational software for schools and students. I'm going to download the Zorin OS core, which is free to download. Let's prepare our USB flash drive. I'm going to use the Ventoy. Let's copy the downloaded ISO file to the Ventoy USB drive. Okay, let's reboot our system. Goodbye, Fedora. Probably see you again in future once I'm done testing all of this. Thank you for your service. Okay, this is a welcome screen. We can try the Zorin OS or proceed with the installation. I want to try this on real hardware, daily drive it for a week or two. So first we're gonna install it and then we're gonna try this out. It says preparing Ubuntu drivers. Another thing, what I have found is that many popular user-friendly distros out there, like Zorin OS, Linux Mint, that I have already tried, are based on Ubuntu. Looks like Ubuntu is probably one of the most popular and father of many popular Linux distros out there. The installation actually took longer than I expected. When I installed Fedora, it only took like 2 or 3 minutes, but it took almost like 10 and maybe more minutes. Now, look at this. This is Zorin OS. Let's go through the startup tour. Welcome to Zorin OS 18.1. Start the tour. Okay, we have the start menu, launch Zorin appearance. Let's actually check this out. So this is where we can customize this and make it look like completely different type of operating system. So this is the layout right now. Look at this. This looks like the Windows 7 or 10 style start menu. We have the taskbar, just like Windows. We can go with this one. This changes the start menu slightly. It's smaller start menu, or we can go with this one. This is like mix of Linux, Windows, macOS. Okay, you get the taskbar at the bottom, just like Windows. You get the start menu, which shows all the apps, just like Linux or macOS. As I'm using Linux more and more, now these days I actually prefer this layout, the default GNOME style app menu. But I do like the taskbar, which it includes by default. And there is a software update available. So let's click on install now. While it's installing, we can change some other things. And then we have this layout, which looks completely different, or we can say default GNOME. We have the top bar, and then we have dock at the bottom with start menu button and all that. But you know what? I actually prefer this one. Okay, let's also change the theme to dark so it doesn't burn our eyes. Effect, enable animations. Yeah, let's enable that. And jelly mode. Oh, yeah, this is something that I had to download in Fedora, but here it's built in. So we'll use the jelly mode. Desktop cube. What is this? How do you get the desktop cube? Switch between workspaces in 3D. Oh, okay. Oh, this is the effect. 3D rotation basically. Looks cool. We can add the icons to the desktop like home, mounted volumes, trash, and by default everything looks good. On the interface side, I can also change the font. So there are many fonts built in. Which one should I use? There is JetBrains Mono. Let's use the JetBrains Mono regular, and it should change the font everywhere. Look at that. It looks clean. So yeah, our system is still updating. Launch Zorin Connect. What is this? Connect your computer with mobile device. Sync your phone's notification with your computer. Oh, okay. It's like a phone's app on Windows, but inside Zorin OS. So there is also a similar application by KDE. It's called KDE Connect. I actually use that application on my Windows Mini PC. It's pretty cool. So we have the similar app built in. That's nice. Under the hood, it's basically Ubuntu, but looks completely different. It's heavily customized basically. Okay, the update is finished. You know what? First, let's install the NVIDIA driver. I don't know how to do this inside it. And then we reboot it, you know, hopefully it works. Let's see if they have any software manager. Maybe this one is the one. Additional drivers. Yeah, this is same as Ubuntu. Okay, so here we're gonna select the NVIDIA driver that we want to use. Let's actually go to About section here. Wow, it's using the Linux kernel 7, which is pretty good actually. It's same as the Ubuntu. The windowing system is also Wayland. This is something I personally like to use. I don't use X11 because the softwares that I want to use don't really work on X11, like the Waydroid and all that. And this is actually a GNOME desktop environment, but looks completely different out of the box. It's heavily customized to make it look like Windows or macOS, which is actually pretty good for new users coming from Windows or Mac. Okay, the NVIDIA driver is installed. Nice. Now we can test out the other things. This is like default GNOME system resource monitor. I like to replace it with Mission Center. Ooh, wait. There is one thing that I don't like. It has Snap built in. This is something that I don't like about the Ubuntu. We are definitely not going to install apps from this Snap. We can probably disable it, but yeah, let's install it from the FlatHub. And hopefully we can also uninstall the System Monitor app because we are not going to use it. So let's uninstall it. Yeah, it is letting me uninstall the apps. You know, this is probably the best thing about Linux is that you can uninstall any app that you want from the system. If you don't like something, you want to replace it with something else, you can do that. Okay. I don't like the default, task manager. So I like to use Mission Center. This is much better. This is like clone of Windows Task Manager in Linux. Look at this. It gives you all the info about the system, the utilization, speed, temperature of the CPU, disk, GPU, you name it. It's really good. And another thing is Windows App Support. This is a unique feature of this operating system. You have to install it from the App Store. Run Windows apps in Zorin OS with wine and bottles. This package installs the wine compatibility layer as well as bottles. Any Linux distribution can actually run Windows application with the help of wine, bottles, and there are many other applications. But you need to configure it by yourself. So it comes pre-configured, all the best possible settings. So let's install it and test out couple of things. So there are many apps that Linux can run with the help of Wine. For example, I'm just going to test 7-zip. And if there are any alternatives available on Linux, it actually checks for that too. So it says .7z file support is already installed. So it just tells you don't really need this application. So I can click on run anyway to show you guys how this works, and it will open the installation window just like on Windows, and you can just install your app just like this. Easy. And it also creates a shortcut in apps menu, so I can open this Windows application from here easily. And look at this. This is actually a Windows application. Okay, and yeah. Pretty cool actually. Now let's actually install some important apps that I actually use. First one is OpenCode. So let's install OpenCode in here. This time I'm actually going to install the DaVinci Resolve manually. There is a official documentation on Zorin OS's website on how to install DaVinci Resolve. So let's use this. First, we need to get the DaVinci Resolve, which I already did. Now download the make resolve deb script. Let's follow the instructions. All the commands are here. The full instructions are here. So it shouldn't be that difficult, but still for new users, even for me, this is a little bit complicated. Yeah, we need to extract the zip file of DaVinci Resolve, and then we have to run this command using Resolve 21 conversion process extracting archive. Okay, so it will probably take some time, so I'm just gonna wait here. I'm trying to install the fast fetch, but it says unable to locate package fast fetch. Am I typing something wrong here? So let me see here. Oh no, I have to add the repo to install the fast fetch. It's not available in here. I don't want to add the third-party repo, so maybe alternative. Yeah, the NeoFetch exists here, and it's almost same as the fast fetch. Okay, now one thing I like to do here with the help of AI, because I don't know how to do it manually, I ask the AI to make the fast fetch or NeoFetch run automatically when we launch the terminal. I'm simply gonna ask it to do it for me. You just watch how this magic happens. For me, it's like the magic, because I have no idea how to do it. I mean, it's not like I can't do it. You just have to edit and configure files, which I don't like doing. And it's a pretty simple setup actually. Now, if I open a new terminal window here, watch what happens. New window. It opens the NeoFetch every single time. And this is something that every Linux user do for some reason, maybe to flex the specs or maybe just for the looks. And we are still waiting for the DaVinci Resolve to convert into deb file. It's been more than 10 minutes and I'm still waiting here. Okay, the deb file is ready. Yeah, it took almost like 15 minutes. Now we simply run the terminal one more time and paste this in here, and it should get installed, I guess. This is my first time manually installing the DaVinci Resolve inside Linux. Before this, I was just using the AI. It worked. It's not like it didn't work. It actually worked. It was faster than this. That was actually pretty quick. It got installed within a couple of seconds. Okay, only the compiling it to .deb was difficult, I guess, for the system. Look at that. DaVinci Resolve is installed. Now let's launch it. Hopefully it works. It launched fast. How? Is DaVinci Resolve faster in Debian than the Fedora? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Missing package detected. What package? Oh, update. There is an update available. Okay. I had an old installer. No big deal. Okay. Let's actually test this out quickly, whether our videos playback is good or not in here. This is a 4K video, screen recording just like this. And it should be able to play this video without any issue flawlessly. Then we can confirm that this works. Yeah. Audio is working. Everything is working. I know it will work. For the full test, I'll have to daily drive it, edit the actual video. Okay, I want to install a Waydroid in here, but it looks like there is no official package for this. We have to add the repo. Let's actually do this. I mean, we are just testing this out. Hopefully this works. This is basically an Android emulator for Linux, and it's actually pretty cool. I tested this on Fedora and it worked really well. So hopefully in Zorin OS it also works good or better. Okay, the Vedroid is installed. It has the dark theme in here. In Fedora, it didn't have a dark theme. So for some reason, inside a Ubuntu-based operating systems, almost every app has the dark theme, where in Fedora, some apps were missing the dark theme. So I'll have to investigate on that. So let's install Android with Google Apps and let's click on download. And it's going to take some time to download because the mirror is really slow. Okay, the Vedroid is installed. By the way, this is day 2 because it took a very long time to download. Vedroid is installed, but we have some issues. It's not launching properly. I do have NVIDIA GPU. Maybe that is the reason it's launching with the NVIDIA GPU. So we may have to make it launch with the Intel GPU. So we're gonna ask AI to fix it for me. So this is where AI is going to be very useful. Look at this. This is just blank screen. It's not working. And this is a same issue that I had in Fedora. It's not a Linux issue. It's more of a NVIDIA driver issue. It doesn't work well with the Vedroid, basically. So I'm just gonna ask the OpenCode AI to fix it for me. Even the AI is having hard time now. It kinda didn't work. I'll have to fix this on free time. It's gonna take a while. It was actually better on Fedora for some reason. By the way, this is another hour. I'm still trying to figure this out. I was like, let's fix it right now. It will be better. It may be something specific about Zorin OS, so it's kind of difficult to fix. It's been almost an hour. I'm trying to figure this out, and also this AI. So maybe I'll try this again, but right now, I mean, I'm gonna be daily driving this until I install the another Linux distro. So for this video, that's it. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll rate the Zorin OS in my next Linux journey video. This is actually very user friendly, and there are so many customization options. You can customize this thing however you want. Windows, Mac, Linux. Yeah, I'm going to be daily driving this for almost a week and see how it holds up against the other distros that I have tried so far. Yeah, that's it. I'll see you in the next one. Take care of yourself and have fun. Bye-bye.